In lab, we're going to for the next couple weeks in lab, we're going to investigate the factors that impact the oxidation rate of ascorbic acid, both in orange juice and in other solutions. So basically, we're going to figure out if it's affected by temperature, time, metals, or the OJ manufacturer. So week one, we're going to wash some glassware. Prepare your solutions and standards. You're going to prepare your samples as described in the table in your lab. Make some OJ samples and run some of your standards using UV vis. Basically the same thing in the next week. A continuation, wash your glassware, prepare your solutions and standards. Centrifuge your orange juice standards. Prepare your fresh orange juice standards in your instrument blank. And also, so then you need to do UV vis on all the rest of your samples and standards as appropriate. So before lab, you need to read this lab very carefully. I know it's wordy, and you know, it's a lot like real life. when you go look up some paper that someone wrote a procedure in, it doesn't fill in all the blanks for you, not even close. So you need to read the procedure very carefully when preparing your pre-lab so that you can make appropriate data tables. Figure out what glassware you're going to need to be washing, because if you don't wash all your glassware at the beginning of lab, that might cause a real bottleneck later on in lab. You need to do the calculations that are listed on the first page of the lab as your pre-lab assignment, and you need to make a plan. If you just come in and you really haven't done your pre-lab assignment appropriately, this is putting more responsibility onto you guys in terms of figuring out what glassware you need, making a plan, who's going to do what. You're going to work in pairs of, or in groups of 4, as described in the lab, and then each pair is going to have its assignments. So you need to figure out who you're working with and what each pair is going to do in lab in order to make it efficient. There's enough time to get everything done, but if you sort of don't have a plan and are kind of a mess to start with, you may not get it all done in time. Alright, so for the report, you're going to have an abstract, introduction, results, discussion, conclusion, and group work. We know from, you know all of these parts from previous labs. I recommend starting early. This is another lab that I inherited. I know the wording is difficult to understand sometimes, so start early on those discussion questions. If there's a question, ask your group members. Work with your group members on calculations. And if you still have questions, you're welcome to contact me via email or come into my office hours. The labs are going to be due on Monday. I know that that's contentious, but I think that it's really important that you guys keep up with your lab reports. So,